NASA has gone completely silent about what James Webb detected last month. No press release, no official statement, no explanation. Just silence from one of the most well-funded and communicative space agencies on the planet. And when an organization that normally celebrates every single discovery suddenly stops talking, that's when you need to start paying attention. Tonight, we're going inside the anomalous deep space signal that has physicists, astronomers and cosmologists quietly losing sleep. What James Webb captured doesn't fit any known model, and the more scientists look at it, the less they understand it. To understand why this signal is so significant, we need to understand what James Webb actually is, and why it changes everything. Launched on Christmas Day, 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope is the most powerful observatory ever deployed in human history. Its primary mirror spans 6.5 meters. It operates at temperatures close to absolute zero. It can detect infrared light from objects so distant that we're essentially looking back in time, nearly 14 billion years into the past. The Hubble telescope was a flashlight. James Webb is a searchlight pointed at the beginning of time itself. Since becoming fully operational in mid-2022, Webb has delivered discovery after discovery that has quietly rewritten our understanding of the early universe. Galaxies that were too large, too structured, too mature, appearing at points in cosmic history where they simply should not exist. Scientists called them impossible galaxies. They revised their models. They moved on. But what was captured in 2024 is different. This isn't a galaxy that's slightly too old. This is a signal that shouldn't exist at all. The detection came during a deep field observation, one of Webb's routine but extraordinary long-exposure surveys where the telescope stares at a single, apparently empty patch of sky for extended periods. The goal is to gather as much faint light as possible to reveal the most distant objects in the universe. These sessions have produced some of Webb's most iconic imagery, but this particular observation produced something nobody was prepared for. Buried within the data from this deep field session was a repeating electromagnetic signal of unknown origin. Let that settle for a moment. Not a one-time burst, not a sensor glitch, a repeating, structured signal detected across multiple wavelengths simultaneously, emanating from a region of space that, according to every catalogue and every prior observation, contains absolutely nothing. No galaxy, no star, no known compact object, nothing. The signal pulses at an interval that researchers have described in internal communications that have since been shared within the academic community as disturbingly regular. Regularity in deep space signals is not unusual. Pulsars, for example, are rotating neutron stars that emit radiation with extraordinary precision. Scientists know what pulsars look like. They know what magnetars look like. They know what fast radio bursts look like. This doesn't look like any of them. What makes it stranger still is the spectral profile, the fingerprint of the signal across different frequencies. Natural astrophysical phenomena produce signals that follow predictable mathematical curves. The brightness at different wavelengths tells you what kind of object you're dealing with. Webb's instruments revealed a spectral profile that one researcher, speaking off the record, described as structured in a way that natural processes don't produce. And then came the detail that made the quiet conversations become urgent ones. The signal appears to be moving, not in the way distant objects appear to move due to the expansion of the universe. The source appears to be exhibiting lateral drift, transverse motion, inconsistent with any known cosmic body at that distance. Objects at cosmological distances simply do not appear to move sideways. The geometry of the universe doesn't permit it at that scale. Something is wrong, or something is extraordinary. If you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button and subscribe, because what we're about to get into next is where this story becomes truly unsettling. Following the initial detection, the data was run through 3 independent verification pipelines. This is standard procedure. Space telescopes occasionally produce artifacts, instrumental errors, cosmic ray hits on the detector. Each pipeline returned the same result. The signal is real. The origin point is consistent. The regularity is confirmed. A second telescope, ground-based, operating in a different wavelength range, was quietly pointed at the same coordinates. The signal was not detectable from the ground, which is itself significant. Earth's atmosphere filters out certain frequencies. The fact that it was invisible from the ground, but visible to Webb, tells researchers something important about the nature of the emission. It narrows the possibilities. And none of the remaining possibilities are simple. Furthermore, a review of archival data, older observations of the same sky region from prior instruments, revealed nothing, no historical trace. Whatever this is, it either didn't exist before, or it wasn't emitting before. It switched on. That single fact has generated more alarm in the relevant scientific circles than anything else. Known natural phenomena don't simply switch on at cosmological distances and begin emitting structured, regular signals detectable by a single instrument in a narrow frequency window. That sequence of characteristics eliminates known categories one by one until you are left with a very uncomfortable remainder. So what is it? 3 serious proposals are currently circulating. The first is an entirely new class of natural astrophysical object, something our current models don't account for. The universe has surprised us before. Pulsars were once mistakenly logged as potential artificial signals before their rotation mechanics were understood. Perhaps we are looking at a new type of exotic compact object, a strange quark star, a dark matter interaction event, something operating on physics we haven't formalized yet. This is the most scientifically conservative position. It's also, for many researchers, the least satisfying, given the combination of characteristics involved. The second theory involves what cosmologists call a cosmic string, a theoretical one-dimensional defect in the fabric of space-time left over from the earliest moments after the Big Bang. Cosmic strings have never been directly observed. Their existence is theoretical, but if they exist, their electromagnetic signature under certain conditions could produce exactly the kind of anomalous, structured emission that Webb detected. The fact that the source appears to move would also be consistent with a cosmic string under tension. This theory is considered credible. It is also deeply unsettling in its implications for what else might exist embedded in the structure of space-time. The third theory is the one that nobody wants to say out loud in peer-reviewed literature, but which multiple researchers have privately acknowledged cannot yet be mathematically excluded, that the signal is artificial in origin. And here is the most disturbing aspect of this entire situation. The coordinates of the signal, when traced back using Webb's positional data, Place the source at a distance of approximately 10 to 12 billion light-years, meaning this signal, whatever produced it, was produced 10 to 12 billion years ago, before our solar system existed, before our sun ignited. Whatever sent this signal did so when the universe was less than 4 billion years old. If this is natural, it rewrites astrophysics. If it isn't, it rewrites everything else. The analysis is ongoing. The silence from official channels is real, and the data is sitting in servers right now, being examined by some of the sharpest minds on Earth who are struggling to find a conventional answer. Thank you for watching. This story is not finished, and we will be following it as it develops. Now I want to hear from you. If this signal turns out to be artificial in origin, what do you think it means for humanity? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this video made you think, please like it, share it and subscribe, because this is only the beginning.